these. It's definitely become one of my favourites again, the tetracanthus. I mean, there always has been one of my favourites, but then like obviously other fish come along and that, and then, but yeah, it's one of the only two that I've held on to long term since fry. I've kept for years now. Well, this is he's over 2 years old now, just over 2. But yeah, he's taken forever to grow. He's about, I'd say about 9 inch now, just over 9. That flower pot is 5 inches across, so yeah, with his tail he's got to be 9 easily. She's about 5.5, 6 maybe. Yeah, they really are beautiful fish. It's a shame you do see quite a few of them now, but the quality is just not there on them. But I think it's like that with all the nandopsis. For years, many years, the cichlids was my favourite, and it's like the genetics on them now that just seem to be getting worse and worse. There is still some nice Cubans out there, and I've still seen a couple of nice odos out there, cichlids, but not, they're a bit like far and few between. But yeah, the Cubans, I'll definitely, because when I had my black nasties, I had them at the same time as these, and when I was going to go down to like one from each species, like from one from each genus, like, it was left with a choice between this or the odos, so there was no question about it. I'll pick these. I much prefer these over the cichlids. I mean, yeah, he's a big boy now. He might be approaching 10 inch actually. He's not so much been growing now in length, he's just been getting a lot like thick eye. Yeah, he's getting to be a big boy. But yeah, he really is a beautiful specimen of a Cuban. He's F2. The person where these come from, the parents of these are on YouTube. They're F1 pair, they're the only F1 pair that I know of still that are alive. Well, I don't know if these are still alive actually, they might be dead by now, but yeah, I think the last time they collected wild-caught Cubans was like coming up to 10 years ago or something like that. But yeah, where it is, just one, it's really hard to collect from there. It's like a really high risk place to go to collect fish, and then it's the expense of it because you have to pay. Obviously, you need locals to show you where the places are, and two, you need protection from armed bandits and all that sort of shit. When you go places like Haiti and Cuba, any of them sort of ones. Like the Dominican and all that, it can be a bit risky out in them places. I know it is in South America, but because the routes for importing fish have been long established between there and places like the US and that, there is actual proper tour guides and all that take you out hunting for fish. But yeah, I don't think it's that simple. And from what I heard, the last time anyone went out there looking, all they've kept finding was tilapia. They've been introduced into the waterways as a food fish. So yeah, I don't even know if there is any cichlids left out there, to be honest. But I mean, there probably is, but I doubt any more will be brought into the hobby wild caught. If anyone knows of anything different, and I'm not just that someone said or they've seen them up for sale as offered as wild caught or F1. I mean, like, if you actually know of anyone who's actually imported them since then, I'll be interested to know. I'm not saying this is definitive proof that they haven't, I'm just saying that I haven't heard of it, and all the research I've done, I can't find anyone who's imported wild-caught tetracanthus in years. But yeah, as far as they go, it's quite a nice pair. I'm still in a bit of a toss-up between these or beani, which are my favourite. Like I said, this is the last spawn I'm going to have out of these two. This will be their third successive one. Sorry, fourth. the first lot. And then after that, I left them to it. I didn't want to start pulling fry away from them and all that. I wanted them to get the hang of it, so I just left them to it. And on the second one they ate some, but by the third time they then were fine. So I left the fry over for a while, pulled some, and then left them. But what they do is, which they should be doing anyway, is when they want to spawn again, they'll pick off the remaining fry and then spawn. But I need to give like the girl a bit of a break from constantly spawning. So she's either going to be going, like I said in my last video, into my female tank. I've got a tank now literally, which is just diver fish. It's all fish that are needed for later dates basically. So like diver fish, silver dollars, all that sort of stuff. Loads of little cichlids that are used for divers like Eliotti and all that, but they started breeding in there as well. I've got female beani, female Cubans, and I've also got a small beani male in there who's too small at the minute I think to spawn, and even if he's not, the females are way too big. But so yeah, she might go in there, but she might be a bit too nasty to go in with the others. For one, she's bigger, and two, there's another female beano in there who's quite a bit smaller than her, so I think that would be the one that would get it. But yeah, you got the male just peeking his head out at me. But trying to see where's the female. Yeah, he's waiting to see if he gets food, I think. Let me see. Where's the bucket? Yeah, see, it comes out, and there's the female. See, they are gorgeous pair. That's what I mean. I don't know. It's a hard decision between them or the Cubans. That's why, if I had to only keep one cichlid tank, I don't know what I would do. I really don't know, because I've had this conversation with the missus, because I was going to just have one big marine. So I missed two. It's them, oh, massive oil, right. A couple there on the sand that they missed, and I'll get them in a second. But yeah, that's their favourite food by far, other than earthworms. But I try not to give it to them too much, because it is very high in protein and other stuff that quite rich, so it's not good to give to them all the time. But where the shops are shut at the minute, all the fish shops, I can't get live river shrimp from anywhere, and this is what I used to give them at the weekends. They seem to, if you've got a fish that have problems digesting like protein foods like prawns and things like that, or bits of tilapia, try giving them live river shrimp. They come out of brackish water, so there's nothing really that they carry that you're going to pass on to your fish. Well, I've never had no problems with feeding them. And there's like the calorie content compared to like an actual prawn, a frozen prawn, and to one of them river shrimp, or the bio load into the tank as well, should I say, is nowhere near the same as with prawns. So they do a lot better digesting, I think, with the river shrimps than the prawns and tilapia and that. But you ain't been able to get them lately, so that's been able to be their treat food, is the massive one. I mean, that's what I feed, pretty much 50-50 between that and like the JBL or the Acaris or something for my parachromis. My parachromis, I give them all meaty sort of food, but that's what they're designed to be for, fish like that. But yeah, I know being although they're omnivores, I'm sure they're predominantly piscivores in the wild. Well, piscivores and insect eaters, but yeah, I don't want to push it with them. Yeah, I don't feed them too much, but yeah, I'm gonna be giving away some fish as well. If anyone who watches this wants any free fish, like fry or anything like that, let me know. I might even have some larger ones as well, some juveniles. But yeah, if you want any, drop me a comment and we'll arrange something, you can come pick them up. Or if you want to pay postage, I'll send them. But I had this before. I was actually, when I was downsizing, because I've just got had a newborn and all that, I was downsizing my fish room, so I was going to get rid of, there was loads of fish I had that were actually quite rare in the hobby, things like the Amphilophus flaviolus, beani juveniles, Cubans, literally loads of stuff. And I was going to, I messaged Scott McLaughlin at King and Queen Cichlids and said, do you want them? And he was like, yeah, he'd have them. Anyway, so when I've tried to find out what the shipping costs would be, I was quoted £450 for the box. So as much as I'm a fan of theirs, I'm not to the point where I can afford to put £450 down for shipping to another country. So if you're not in the UK, there's no point in basically trying to get them, because I'm not going to be able to get them cheap, and it's not worth your while paying that amount of money. And the thing was as well, if I'd have sent it out to King and Queen Cichlids, there would have had to have been about 2 or 3 boxes, because like the flav pair and all that, they were big. The male was like 14 inch. There would have had to have been a good couple of boxes worth of fish going out there. That would have cost me £900, which is what, over $1,000. So yeah, if you're in the UK, especially if you're around South London or Surrey or any of them places, sorry, let me turn that right out because of the glare on there. This is what I had on the last video, but sorry about that. But yeah, this tank here, this isn't RO. This is, this isn't either, the one I just turned out. It's got the female Cuban in it, that's not RO. But what I've got is where I've got pretty much new bogwood in all of the tanks. Well, new as in within the last 6 months, but like you've got a lot of tannins coming out of it. So the pH on these tanks is somewhere between 7.4 and 7.6. All with exception to the beani tank, which I've got at about, I think that's about between 7 and 7.2. But that's because of the use of RO, the same way that I do with this one. So put the light on. But yeah, that's a beani there. So it's a bit of a mess in the bottom. It's got black sand, yellow sand, everything in it. I'll put that little pot in there just so they can get out of the current of this. In fact, you know what? This is, I was going to say, is a must-have if you're going to breed certain types of cichlids, yeah, and you want to keep fry. But I'm going to do this on my next video. Cheers.